Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are currently building a little bit tall here, and it's going absolutely fantastically actually. Our economy is doing very well. We are a little bit over our empire cap. We probably want to do something about that, but we have encountered someone in Yidixa, and we're going to go ahead and assign an envoy to that. Now, they're currently representing our interests in the galactic community, but that's okay. We don't really care about that one way or another right now. We are, of course, working on grabbing as much trade value as we can at this exact moment. We're going to upgrade this Star Fortress. Perfect. We don't actually need to upgrade Yidixa, so that one's a fairly low priority for us. Uproth is going to be our next priority, for sure, and then after that, we will hit up our bastions. Although we probably should get our Starhold at Sol upgrading, just so that we can have additional shipyards. That's usually very, very worthwhile. So that will be fantastic. And let's just take a look at what we've got going on here. Of course, the ISS Adriatic isn't doing anything, but that is just fine for right now. Now, one thing I actually didn't realize somehow is this. That's the center of the galaxy right there. I actually had no idea. That's fantastic. Following the sighting of unidentified spacecraft in the Yidixa system, all forces in the vicinity have been ordered to assume a heightened state of readiness as per standard protocol. Fantastic. We will continue here. That's just the standard first event. How did we have a first contact in Yidixa? That's like deep in our territory. Very odd. Very odd indeed. Okay, so the resolution was passed. We abstained on that last one. Trade is in the lifeblood of the galaxy. All members of the galactic community should contribute to a multinational space force to combat piracy and other threats to free commerce. That's a lot of diplomatic weight from economy and trade value, and that just gives flat 10 trade protection. We support that one. Fantastic. So we will allow that. Or, well, we'll vote for it anyway. We do need a couple of jobs here on Gosak Prime, and I think we'll go ahead and put in civilian industries for that. That'll solve that wait, this is worker employment. We have 2 worker unemployment. We have 3 metallurgist jobs available. My understanding was that Pops got promoted instantly. Did they change that? That Pop is enslaved, apparently. Which probably is why they can't move up that ladder. Okay. I would think about building an agriculture district. That's not really good for us, exactly. Are enforcer jobs specialist jobs? We probably don't want a slave race being specialists anyway, so that's probably not going to be a good thing. We could resettle those to one of our agri-worlds. Like, for example, this one that has a bunch of available farmer slots. So that was in Yidixa Prime. So we'll go ahead and resettle those over to Yidixa Prime. And we will do that. Their habitability on the target planet is 18%, apparently. Interesting. That's a continental world. As is this. I don't know what the fundamental difference there is. Regardless, they were put to work. Habitability 18%. They have an Arctic preference. Okay. That's maybe something that we'll need to deal with. Or they might die off. One or the other. Our remote governance of Procyon Secundus continues to be a somewhat awkward but effective arrangement. The council in charge has allegedly secured the loyalty of a faction of our armed forces on the planet. Apparently they prefer staying indoors to breathing in the Marin pollen. The remote government wishes to use these troops to mount an offensive on the flower, having them erect atmospheric purifiers and wiping the plant from all urban areas entirely. Okay, we'll work on that. We have no choice. What could possibly go wrong? There's a council election imminent. We don't really care that we're not going to be on that council at this time. Ah, new megacorps. Okay. The Heth aliens appear eager to establish communications with us, having sent a large audio and visual transmission that appears to offer the key to translating their language. Our experts are confident that we'll be able to use this to learn to communicate with them soon. Of course, we'll have to trust them that their offered translations are not misleading, and that we will be able to reliably... Hold on. And that we'll be able to reliably interpret information presented from a surely vastly different experiential context. Okay? Fantastic. The members of the galactic community have voted to establish a galactic council. Membership in this august body will be limited to representatives from the three most powerful and influential empires in the community. Until a new council is elected, these are the Yon Company, the Boki Consciousness, and the City Modus Monopoly. The members of the council are expected to lead and safeguard the galactic community. Their increased powers allow them to cut through some of the red tape that so often inhibits the decision-making process in large political institutions. Hopefully they're up to the task. We are not considered one of the most powerful empires. Yet. We'll get there. We are playing the long game right now. Food from farmers. Perfect. Habitability, flat 5%. That's really, really good. We're going to take that. Afterburners is amazing for our Corvettes, and we are Corvette heavy at this time. So we will definitely happily take that. The Uproth station does require a pair of additional trade hubs, and we'll toss in a resource silo and upgrade that to a star fortress. Magnificent. So we currently have a collection range, what, of 2 here? And then we're going to get 2 more. So we're not going to quite get these 2 with these upgrades, but we will get an additional couple of trade value for it. Once we upgrade to a star fortress, at that time we'll be good to go. The Mira station still has 570 days on that front. That's okay. Our efforts to decipher the signals we picked up from the Heth aliens have paid off, and we've finally made a breakthrough. While our mastery of their language may not be complete, we've managed to successfully open diplomatic channels with the civilization we now know to be the Enlightened Kingdom of Fuya.
An alien empire wishes to communicate.
Our warriors salute you. Magnificent. So we finished that first contact procedure. Tiyanki Conservation Act, huh? That's fine. But apparently that's a conservative measure. People are currently supporting and opposing this. They're mostly supporting it. We're not planning to kill any Tiyanki. That's fine. Those are, of course, the space whales. And those guys just joined the community. Fantastic.
Incoming transmission.
They want to establish an embassy. We accept. That is also fantastic. We don't currently need any work on any of our worlds. That's fine. We will slowly get some progress over there. And we're currently positive on all of these. We don't actually have a source of rare crystals, which is a little bit painful for us. Hopefully we get one. But for now, this is completely fine. We're just going to continue stalling out our navy and continually invest in our economy and defenses for right now. And we will get to a little bit of conquest a little bit later on. These guys are a good target for us, the Corinth. And they are currently considered overwhelming, but we're not actually that upset about that, realistically. Fantastic.
Construction complete.
So the Sol Station is ready to get another pair of shipyards. We also want to get a fleet academy here. Absolutely. That will be fantastic.
Scientific breakthrough
getting us some ship starting experience. Reverse engineer minor artifacts, huh? That's a nice one. And actually, we're going to go for that. That shouldn't be too bad. Fantastic. So at this point, we are mostly waiting on growth on our planets, is what we mostly need. And in terms of that growth, hitting about 2.58 per month, not too bad. Afterburners finishing up there, and let's go ahead and grab an L-Gate Insight. That's very important to us. We do need to keep in mind we're probably going to have to fight the nanites in the L-Gate, so that is definitely something to consider. We maybe want to take diplomacy over here. We could form a federation. We need to consider whether we want to do a federation playthrough here or a crisis playthrough. Now is not the time to make that decision, but this is something to think about. The original plan for this was a federation playthrough, but it kind of took a while to get to this point, and crises are now available. Now we're probably going to go down the harmony tree here for the food consumption reduction, but let me know whether you think we should go the federation route or whether we should go the crisis route and be like, everyone gets healthcare whether you like it or not, or everyone gets healthcare whether you like it or not. But which route? Which route? It's hard to say. With the Federation, everyone is our friend, whether they want to or not, and therefore they get... like, members of our Federation can be confirmed to get the healthcare, right? Alternatively, if we were to go the Crisis route, everyone gets healthcare, there is no Federation, you require healthcare, and you will get it. Let me know which you would prefer. I'm kind of leaning towards the Crisis route right now, but definitely let me know on that front. So we're still waiting on some population growth on our planets. That's completely okay. The Mira station is going to be upgrading to a star fortress very shortly indeed here. And of course, there's these lads. They require healthcare too, or more specifically, the robots probably don't need healthcare, but the people they're taking care of definitely need healthcare. But the robots could use healthcare, I'm sure. It would be very, very useful for them. I don't know what they'd do with it, but I'm sure they'd love it. We're going to go ahead and hit that reinforced fleet button just to get all of our cruisers here. Excellent. Ethiopian Purity Movement. These guys are awful, and they are not our ethic. Fantastic. So we're going to get a couple trade hubs here, and do we want anything else here? Honestly, probably not. Wait, a Hyperlane Registrar increases our collection range? I didn't realize that. I guess we'll grab it because it fits thematically. There's not actually anything out here that we're going to need to grab because we planned this out that we would have a collection range of 6. But that's definitely interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. We no longer require Ye Dixa. Once Uproth is fully good to go. Isn't that interesting? That is very interesting, actually. Now, Uproth isn't quite to that point yet. That'll be a while. But that's okay. We're going to start upgrading Durasta. Now, these aren't going to be capped out just yet, and the alloy costs of these are going to start getting quite high. So that's definitely something to think about. Our Fleet Academy is constructing over here, and we also need to think about our composition of this particular fleet. Now, we don't have battleships yet, which is unfortunate. We're definitely going to run the Surveyor, +7 trade on Kerbal, which is already collected. Fantastic. Achieved. Advanced shields. We're going to grab physics research from researchers. That's always a priority. Wonderful. And we're just hoping to get battleships quite soon here. We don't really need any stronger fleets here just yet. That said, I am thinking about bumping this up to 10. cruisers, and then our Ryazan-class destroyers and our corvettes would both get doubled a little bit later on. That's the way I like to build my fleets. I don't necessarily claim that it's the most efficient way of doing anything, but it's just the way that I build my fleets. We'll go ahead and build a city district over here since we are lacking a housing and we have an available job. That'll be fine, and everything else up on our worlds is great. Okay. We do need to get more alloys rolling in, but we're going to get a lot of those. We just need population growth at this point, and that's exactly what we're getting. The Sol Station is good to go. Wonderful. And we're just going to, honestly, downgrade the Dixa Station here in a bit. We're going to hold off on that for this exact moment, though, and we're going to start getting these defensive bases upgrading here. National Growth Lobby. Yes. That is what we're looking to do. Fantastic. So yeah, Uproth and Mira will be capable of covering basically our entire trade area. So we do not need Yedixa, and we can get rid of this. That's great. That's actually very nice. We did just lose Miriam Alonso, and these guys, they want to extend their deal, and that's okay. We can definitely sell off a few minerals and extend that. Perfect. That's absolutely wonderful. We are researching at a... I'm not going to claim that it's a prodigious rate. It's an okay rate. It's a reasonable rate. Now, we don't really have any scientific worlds. I mean, we've got Alpha Centauri as a tech world here, but it's not necessarily the best. This rural world here, it's not actually a rural world, I think. This is probably another industrial world. It requires a job, and we're going to go ahead and put in an industrial district. Fantastic. Trappist also requires such a location. We're going to put in an alloy foundry here. This is, in reality, going to be a forge world. We're going to have a lot of those. We're going to have a whole lot of them.
Breakthrough achieved.
Okay, so what else can we do? We could create a penal colony. I don't think that's necessary. Ecological adaptation is good. That said, most of these are already continental worlds. In fact, pretty much everything that we have settled is a continental world, right? There's a relic world. Sure. Naval cap from soldier jobs is pretty good. If we had soldier jobs. We have a few, I think, but that'll be fine. I just keep hoping that soon we're going to get battleships. We're kind of waiting on battleships at this point, in some ways. But mostly we're waiting on our alloy production to come up. So that'll be completely fine. This Star Fortress will be done soon enough. We are, of course, complete over here and gathering everything that we can. So that's wonderful. Let's check in on our trade routes here. Okay. I suspect we'll be fine along these trade routes for now. So in theory, that should be good. We're doing completely fine economically. We could use additional administration. There's no doubt about that. That is our major lack right now. Well, our major lack right now is really more population than anything. Luckily, we've got a gene clinic on literally every planet. So we have a lot of population growth going on here, and that is fantastic. There's a peace deal. That's good. They are not slaughtering additional Ethiopians who require healthcare. We're very happy about that, and only about 80 more days on this Star Fortress, which is also great. We're making 110 alloys per month, which isn't a huge amount, but it's okay. It's okay. How much more L-Gate insights do we actually need? Only the one.
Scientific breakthrough.
And we're going to get that in 10 months. Okay. Naval cap from soldier jobs, that's all well and good. Clone armies are nice, but we're going to go for the Cyto revitalization centers. Those do require rare gases, or rather exotic gases. Luckily, we've got a good number of those. This rural world is actually an industrial world. There we go. We'll get that job taken care of. And we should definitely start moving our first fleet over to the Rebellion Vortex. We should also build a starbase here.
Construction complete.
Excellent. The Uproth starbase has finished its construction queue. We're going to go ahead and build not an anchorage, but a couple of trade hubs there. We're also going to build a hyperlane registrar there. Excellent. So we're going to build a starbase over here. It's unlikely to hold against the enemy fleets. And realistically, we are going to put together some alloys here. Something along the lines of that. And then we're going to put together a few extra cruisers. That's going to be 3 of our 5 cruisers. Excellent. I doubt it'll be enough. Also, we haven't upgraded our ships in a while. So that's the thing. We have swept our space with the strong scanning beam of the Surveyor Relic and added 4 volatile motes. Nice. And we're actually already gathering those. Wonderful. That's really, really good. Are we really prepared to open the L Gate? The answer is no. Is it a special project that we get to open the L Gate? Because we're definitely not prepared for it. We're absolutely unprepared for that. We can go ahead and downgrade the Dixa station, and we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, we're immediately not gathering at Sirius and Foldora, but those will be gathered quite quickly here. I don't think it'll be this trade hub. Oh, it was that trade hub. Okay, great. So this trade hub will gather this, and this hyperlane registrar won't really gather anything, but that's okay. We're completely fine on that front. So we're making our way out over here. This fleet is ill-prepared for what awaits it. There's no doubt about that. We have some
scientific breakthrough.
Okay, here we
achieved.
go. We've now gathered sufficient L-Gate insights to research the technology behind them. Once this has been done, one of our science ships should be able to abort the perpetual maintenance cycle they're stuck in. The L-Cluster is almost within our reach. Okay. We are going to work on this. It is, I think, going to be a physics research. Yes. Okay. Synthetic crystal plants would probably be good, but Betharian power plants are also very good. We'll go ahead and grab that. And this is the only L-Gate within our territory, so this is the only one we need to focus on defending.
Complete.
The Durasta starbase has finished. That's fine. We're kind of abandoning our frontier bases for the time being and pouring all of our alloys into this, because this is going to be rough to hold. I'm actually going to send these guys back to Seoul at this time, and we're going to work on, as soon as we've finished building these cruisers, we're going to work on upgrading our ships a bit with our better technology that we've acquired.
Construction complete.
And we are going to immediately do a gun battery, missile battery, a disruption field generator, and we'll upgrade this Starhold as soon as we've got what we need. Which that'll be next month. But opening up the L cluster, that is absolutely our next priority. And we've even got a starbase cap for it, so this is actually kind of decent. We'll get that queued up, and these cruisers will finish their construction shortly. We're not currently working on anything that would improve those, so that's perfectly fine. That's A-okay. So these cruisers will finish up now, and let's go ahead and get these upgrades in. So the corvettes, we probably want to still be on barrier point defense here. Let's see. I mean, flat cannons are much better tracking, but barrier point defense do a little bit more damage, so that's fine. We're going to run X-ray lasers as well as railguns for now. We're going to run a level 3 power reactor, level 2 hyperdrive, plasma thrusters, the swarm combat computer. We're going to run afterburners instead of the power booster, and we've still only got ceramo metal armor, unfortunately. For our destroyers, we are going to upgrade to X-ray lasers. Everything else here is correct. Cold fusion reactors. We're going to run plasma thrusters, of course. Probably drop the reactor booster here, and instead put in either a shield capacitor or an auxiliary fire control. The shield capacitor would give us some small amount of speed, or rather some small amount of shields, but I think the auxiliary fire control is actually probably slightly better for us, although that reduces our damage output. So I guess we'll just run the shield capacitor. That'll be fine. Advanced shields, straight on through there. We're in negative power, so we actually can't run the shield capacitor. Can't quite run afterburners either, nor the auxiliary fire control. We're going to have to just leave this empty for now, down here. That's okay. For our cruisers, X-ray lasers. Absolutely. And plasma. Excellent. These are online combat computers, which is correct. I would love to run dual shield capacitors. I doubt we're going to have the power for that. Yeah, that's about what I expected. Okay, so we're instead going to need to run at least one improved reactor booster. That would work right there. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that, and we will get these guys upgrading. As soon as they make it back, we'll give them a... Well, actually, we'll go ahead and do this. Okay. So they will make it back, and they will upgrade. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are going to open the L Gate. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.